I paid $699 for this Ariel Rider Kepler I found secondhand on Marketplace. It already had 4,000 miles on the clock. Today we're going to find out if it's still a beast, how well it's held up, and whether a used Kepler is the sneaky best deal in fast commuter e-bikes. I'll run through the specs, what's great, what's not, real-world speed and range, and whether I'd buy it again. Quick backstory, I've ridden a lot of e-bikes that cost more and deliver less. The Kepler's whole pitch is simple. Big battery, big power, big rack, small price. New, it hovers around $2,000 on sale. Mine was $699 used and good condition. I've put time into dialing it in, and I'm going to talk to you like someone who actually rides this thing daily, because I do. I'll keep it friendly and honest. What impressed me, what annoyed me, and a few easy fixes that make this bike feel way more premium than the price suggests. Motor and controller. Rear hub 1000 watts, peaks around 1800 watts, paired to about a 33 amp controller. Translation, it pulls hard for a hub bike. Battery is 52 volts, 20 amp hour, removable pack. The 52 volt system is part of why it feels punchier than typical 48 volt commuters. Drive and controls, 7-speed Shimano with a half twist throttle on the right. On the left, you get buttons for lights and turn signals. Display and charging, color LCD with speed, trip, max speed, odometer, etc., plus a tucked-in USB-A port for your phone. Weight and tires, it's a big bike, roughly 73 pounds with 26 by 4.0 tires. Think SUV, not hatchback. Suspension, 80mm front fork, no rear suspension from the factory. Cargo, an absolutely beefy rear rack, rated around 70 pounds, and the bike itself has about 300 pounds payload. You can mount baskets, the rack even looks wide enough to run two. Lighting, a surprisingly useful front headlight with a wide beam, rear taillight that becomes a brake light, and rear turn signals, handy to have but not super bright. Build details, clean internal cable routing, included fenders, adjustable handlebar tilt, bottle boss location on both high step and step through frames. Front wheel has quick release, nice for transport. I bought this used, and I'll be real, a Kepler this cheap isn't showroom fresh. Here's what I saw and what I did. Cosmetics, a few scuffs and chips, normal for 4,000 miles. Touch-up paint, if you get some, doesn't always match perfectly, so I left most blemishes as honest miles. Controls/grips. The stock grips can feel a bit slippery and can rotate. I swapped to rubberized lock-on grips. Easy win. Drivetrain. Derailleur alignment is critical. Mine needed a hanger tweak and cable tension tune. After that, shifting was fine. If your gears skip, check alignment first. Brakes. Tektro hydraulics are solid but can squeal until bedded. I sanded the pads lightly and rebedded, clean and strong now. Headset and wheels. With 4,000 miles, I checked spoke tension and snugged the headset. The frame and rack, rock solid. No weird flex, no cracks, no fatigue sounds. Electrics, all good. Battery locks in with a reassuring click, which I love. Display works, more on the throttle feel in a second. Bottom line, after routine TLC, this 4,000 mile Kepler feels tight. That speaks to good bones. Frame, rack, mounts, and hardware have held up better than I expected at this price. Fit and posture, it's tall and long. I'm not going to pretend this rides like a nimble BMX. It rides like a fast, planted cruiser. The flip side of big is stability. Cars notice you and it tracks straight at speed. Cadence sensor, it's not a torque sensor, but pedal assist kicks on fast and cuts off within about half a second when you stop pedaling. For a cadence setup, responsiveness is commendable. Throttle feel. Here's a quirk. The throttle ramp is aggressive. The first quarter turn is where most of the power shows up. It's fun, but if you want to feather at low speed, it takes a delicate touch. Once you learn the bike, it's manageable, but beginners will notice that jump. Comfort. Stock saddle is okay for short hops. On broken pavement or gravel, you'll feel hits through the rear. No shock back there. A suspension seat post is the best money you can spend on comfort. Handling. Big tires equals more effort to tip into turns. It prefers sweeping arcs to super tight flicks. On the other hand, straight line stability at 30+ miles per hour is excellent. Noise. With fresh pads and a trued wheel, mine is quiet. Initially, I had a bit of brake squeal and chain slap. Both were fixable.
With throttle only
brakes,
on flat
set
ground,
chain
I
length
consistently see approximately 34 miles per hour on GPS. With pedal assist in the highest level, I've nudged approximately 36 miles per hour. On a slight downhill, I've seen the low 40s. It's fast for a hub commuter. Hill pull. The 52 volt system and 33 amp controller help it surge up medium grades on throttle alone. On steeper stuff, I'll add a couple pedal strokes to keep momentum. It's not a mid-drive goat, but for a hub motor, it climbs better than the spec sheet suggests. Range, real world. This part is always variable. Weight, wind, hills, tire pressure, temperature. For me, approximately 220 pounds plus a camera backpack, here's what I actually experience. Throttle only, riding spirited. Around 20 to 30 miles is a realistic window. Lean hard on speed, expect the lower end. Mixed PAS, levels 3 to 5, cruising 18 to 24 miles per hour, occasional sprints. 30 to 45 miles feels about right. Efficiency mode, PAS, chill pace. You can push beyond that, but most folks won't ride this bike chill. It's too tempting to go fast. Note on the display, trip distance can be off if tire circumference isn't set perfectly, and battery percent can drop in steps because of voltage sag and temperature. If you care about precision, track with a GPS app and use the display as a rough guide. Commuting. The huge rack makes this a grocery/gear monster. I've hauled camera gear, a lock, lunch, and a jacket with room to spare. Transport. The front quick release helps if you need to stuff it in a hatchback, but be realistic. At 73 pounds, it's a lift. Security. The side slide battery lock is convenient. I carry it in to charge. The frame has proper room for a U-lock in the main triangle on the high step. Maintenance. After 4,000 miles, the big stuff is fine. Consumables are what you'd expect. Brake pads, chain stretch, tires eventually. All parts are standard and easy to source. Pros. Power for the price. 52 volts / 33 amps / 1,800 watts peak equals no joke. It feels alive. Top speed. Mid-30s on flat with PAS. For a hub commuter at this price, that's wild. Stability. Big tires, long wheelbase, confident at speed. Cargo capacity. The rear rack. Power for the price, 52 volts, 33 amps, 1,800 watts peak equals no joke, it feels alive. Top speed, 40 plus on flat with pedal assist. For a hub commuter at this price, that's wild. Stability, big tires, long wheelbase, confident at speed. Cargo capacity, the rear rack isn't a decoration, it's actually stout and useful. Lighting package, headlight is legitimately usable, brake light integration is great. Serviceability, standard components, easy upgrades, grips, seat post, pads, tires. Durability, my used unit with 4,000 miles is still tight, frame and rack show real durability. Serious cons. Throttle mapping. Too punchy in the first quarter turn. You get used to it, but I wish it were smoother. No rear suspension. You feel sharp hits. A suspension post fixes 70% of this. Weight and size. It rides big and it is big. Plan your storage. Stock grips. Slippery and can rotate. Replace with lock-ons. Rear turn signals. There but dim. Don't rely on them. Still use hand signals. Trip/battery readout nuance. Expect some variance. GPS and a voltage display would be nicer. Packaging if buying new. I've seen. For me, 100% yes, with the caveat that I'm comfortable doing basic wrenching. The frame and rack are overbuilt for the money, and the powertrain still rips after 4,000 miles. If a used one needs a tune, and most will, you're a set of brake pads, a derailleur tweak, and new grips away from a very fast, very practical machine that feels like it should cost a lot more. If you want a featherweight, ultra-refined, torque sensor city bike, this isn't that. If you want speed, range, cargo, and grin factor on a budget, this nails it. After living with a 4,000-mile Kepler, I'm convinced. This platform is built to be ridden hard and often. The welded frame and rack still feel stubbornly solid, the electronics have aged well, and the ride is stable at speeds that would make a lot of commuters nervous. It's not perfect, the throttle is spicy, the rear end is unsprung, and the finishing kit can feel budget, but the foundation is strong. That's what matters on a used buy. For $699, this was one of my smartest e-bike purchases. If you see a clean Kepler at a similar price, check the drivetrain alignment, listen to the brakes, make sure the battery seats with that audible click, and don't overthink it. You're getting big bike performance and real utility for the price of a budget scooter. If you found this helpful, drop your own Kepler range and top speed numbers in the comments. Weight, terrain, temps, the whole picture, so people can see what this bike does in the real world. And if you want me to test specific upgrades on this exact $699 unit, seat post, pads, different tires, tell me what to bolt on next, I'll ride it and report back. Alright, I'm going for another ride. Please smash the like and subscribe button to support the channel.